Hey guys, welcome to the Nate Whitson podcast. Today we are continuing the conversation of an ongoing, really, conversation for Christian men that want to be better, men that want to be better husbands, better fathers, better followers of Christ, and just better men in general. We know the promise of Christ is that we can have life and have it to the fullest. And when I ask men, and when I look at my own life and just say, are you living life to the fullest? Are you experiencing that? Has Christ changed your life in such a way that you go, man, it's full, it's fresh, it's great, I'm doing well? For some of us, we're on that journey. And others, we feel like, man, I'm stuck. I go to church, I try to do the right things, I pray, I read my Bible, but man, I just feel like my life is stuck in different ways. I'm very apathetic. I'm casual about my faith. I want to be better, but I don't know where to go. That's the guy I'm talking to. The guy who says, I love the Lord. I love my family. I want to live a fuller, better, bigger life, but I don't always know what to do. That's what this podcast is all about. And it's an ongoing conversation that we have. How do we get through those sticky moments? How do we get through those sins and those habits that keep us stuck? Today's conversation, I think, is important if you feel that way, if you resonate with that. And I just want to take you into a devotional that I had. Inside of the Fight Club, we have this free community for Christian men. You should check it out. getinthefight.club/FC stands for Fight Club. But inside of that, we get into God's Word. We read through the whole Bible every year together. Again, totally free. You can do this in any time zone and watch this short little 10-minute Devo that we do live each day. But either way, we read through the Bible together, right? Now, in the devotional the other day, it had this line that looked like a little bit of a throwaway verse, and it's in Joshua 13:13. And it stopped me and made me think, man, there is something here for us today. And so I want to read this verse to you right now, and I want you to catch it because I think it's one of those verses that you can easily skim right past it and miss how important that is. And my hope today is that I can do it justice and show you maybe it's one of these things for you that you haven't realized that it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you back from being the man that you are praying that God makes you into. Here's what the verse says. But the Israelites failed to drive out the people of Geshur and Makkah, so they continue to live among the Israelites to this day. And then it just keeps moving. This verse, I think, holds the key for many of us. Because as men, when we feel like we don't know how to solve the problem of changing, of becoming a better man, we just end up spinning the wheels, right? It's like being stuck in the sand. You hit the gas and the wheels spin, but you never make any traction. That's how so many of us feel. I think that this verse holds a clue for you today. It's a powerful warning, and it tells us a lot about where we are stuck because small compromises can wreck big dreams. The goals that you have are good goals. I want to be a better husband. You have a goal of being a better father. You have a goal of being a disciple of Christ who's all in. All the chips are in. I'm focused. I'm living in mission. That's a big, worthwhile goal. It's a big, worthwhile dream. But what is happening for many of us men is that we are making compromises in things that we think are small areas of our life, and it's wrecking that big dream. What's going on in Joshua here is this, that Israel is in the promised land, and God is giving them victory over all of their enemies, all the Hittites and Jebusites and all the ites, right? God says, if you go there, and when you get there, you're going to run into some enemies. And when you get there, I want you to obey me fully. Recognize that the enemy is in the land, but I'm giving you the land. It's the promised land. And there will be everything that you want, the big dreams that you have for your life, for your family, those big goals, those big dreams. I'm going to clear the path for you, but you've got to make sure that you obey me fully. I will give you the victory, but you must be obedient in even the small things. So what did God command them to do when they got to the land? Drive out the people and destroy their idols completely. Listen closely to what he says here. He said this, make sure that you obey all the commands I have given you. Show no mercy. Do not worship their gods, or, and here's the thing, they will trap you. They will trap you. The point is this: God is often looked at as being harsh in these moments. They say, man, the God of the Old Testament was harsh, wipe out everybody, destroy them, show no mercy. What kind of God is that? And yet, what is happening here is that God knows that when you are only partially obedient, then compromise seeps into every area of your life. When we don't fully obey, it is like not obeying at all, but not normally in the short term. See, in the short term, we can disobey and think that's just a small little thing. In the short term, it doesn't always catch up to us. But when you allow those small compromises to happen in one area, it never just stays one area, does it? This one area leads to this area, which leads to that area, and now it just seeps into every area of your life. This is what Jesus warned about and talked about when he called it the yeast of the Pharisees. It's the same analogy. It's the same story. A little bit is all it takes. A little bit of compromise in this case leads to wrecking big dreams. God had dreams of the promised land being this place where God's people would walk with him and they would stand out to all of the world because they did life God's way. They walked with him and he walked with them, just like in the garden. He would be their God and they would be his people. You and I would be his people. It's a big dream that we would walk with God, that we would trust that his way is best. And what many of us have done, and here's where it gets really personal for me and you, what many of us have done is we have said, God, I love that dream and I want all of those blessings, and I'm going to obey you mostly. I will obey you to a point. And yet we just say, this little area though over here, I'm going to do it my own way. Here's what God is saying to us in this passage in Joshua, that compromise always sticks around longer than you think it will. This is what the verse said. So they continue to live among the Israelites to this day. When this was written, it was looking back and he was saying, God had said to them, destroy the idols completely. Show no mercy. Why? Because they will become a trap to you. And what did many of the Israelites do? They let them stick around. Rather than destroying the people completely and getting rid of the idols completely, they said, you know what? We'll have most of it gone. Most of it ought to be okay. The enemies stuck around. They mingled with them. They liked parts of what they had to offer. And so they kept the relationships with these people, and the Israelites failed to obey fully, and the enemy stuck around, and they grew, and their communities grew, and they continued to build relationships, and eventually the trap was set. A little bit of leftover compromise for the Israelites became the trap that God warned them against in the long term. And it's true for us, isn't it? Like that one little website that you refuse to stop going to. It's just a small little compromise, and it's not a big deal. It's not even like I'm looking at everything I shouldn't there. It's just a social media site. But you know in your heart that thing keeps trickling along little bits of temptation. And so rather than saying, look, I'm not going to have anything to do with that and blocking it completely, we ignore it and block it. It's like that food that you keep in the pantry that you know just keeps tripping you up and keeping you from your health goals. But you're like, you know what? I don't have it very often, so I'm just going to keep it around and I'll just have just a little bit. But a little bit turns into a lot of bit, and it destroys that dream. It's like the guy that says, you know what? I'm not really flirting with this girl. I'm just texting her something for work or whatever it is, right? It's this little, what you're saying is harmless. It's this small little compromise, but it's not harmless at all, is it? Having just a little bit of that connection to this lady that's not your wife is causing your heart to stir. It's this little compromise that leads to big problems. In Proverbs 4:26, God said this, and he gives us such great instruction for life throughout all of the Proverbs. But here's just one where he says this: mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. What a simple, basic idea, right? When he's saying to mark it out, what he is saying to you is, look, when you know there are obstacles and compromises along the way, mark out a path that makes it easy to avoid all of that stuff that you know is going to cause you to compromise and trip you up. Mark out a safe path and then stay on the path. Many of us, myself included, have marked out a path and we have kept it mostly clean. And yet I know the areas of compromise, and I bet you do too. Again, it's that food stash. It's the little text here and there. It's the glances and the flirting over there. It's the websites that you know are not completely terrible, but they're also hurting you, and you know it. You know it's a temptation for you. And so rather than marking out a safe path and staying on it, we've marked out a safe path when we feel really strong. And then in moments of weakness, we so quickly and easily go back to those things that have tripped us up over and over. And in fact, when that happens, what do we say? How in the world do I keep tripping up here? Have you ever said that or thought that? Like, why do I keep stumbling at this same sin? How come I can't get rid of it? How come I keep ending up over here? It's because you haven't stayed on a safe path. You haven't fully obeyed. And let's be honest about that. That compromise is sticking around longer than you thought because you haven't fully obeyed, and you know it. The other thing that God teaches us in this passage that is so strong is that he says, drive it out. Don't work around it. And again, this is like saying the same thing, but in a different way. He's emphasizing to you and to me, he is saying, remove it, demolish it, destroy it, break it completely, get rid of it. Do not ignore this warning, all of these things. And what do? Rather than drive around it, we go, I'm going to work around it and just toy with it. I'm going to compromise in allowing myself a little taste of it because just a little bit won't hurt. That's how we think. We think I can manage this little bit of temptation. We know for sure, deep down, if we're being really honest, we know for sure that this thing here is trouble. But what we say to ourselves, the lawyer in your head that's so crafty and so good says, I can handle this. This isn't such a big deal. Don't go crazy here. You don't need to completely get rid of that social media. You can handle a little bit. You can manage this. And yet God is saying to you today and saying to me today, that big dream you have of being a better husband, it can get destroyed if you don't kill this thing in your life today. If you don't remove this completely, this thing is going to catch you. Don't fool yourself. God is not asking you to manage sin. He is not asking you to manage those little compromises and temptations. He is saying, get serious about this thing and remove whatever it is. Think about the story where Jesus says, if your eye offends you, pluck it out. If it's your hand, cut it off, right? Now, is he saying to physically do that? Probably not, but maybe. I think he is saying to us what we're learning here from the story from Joshua 13 as well. Go to whatever lengths you have to get rid of this compromise because there's no such thing as small. The little bit of yeast spreads and it becomes this giant problem. It doesn't just go away. It just gets worse. So get serious about this. Remove it completely. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Nate Whitson podcast. I wanted to interrupt the show just for a second to let you know that there are all kinds of great resources for Christian men who want to be better husbands, better fathers, better followers of Jesus, and just better men in general. If that's you or maybe somebody that you know, then be sure to head over to getinthefight.club, that's .club, and check out the books and resources, the coaching material, the newsletter, the Fight Club. There's so much there for you. Getinthefight.club. Check it out today. If you're serious about being the man that God meant for you to be and you're looking for tools or resources or just help in general, then be sure to head over there right now and check it out. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Now back to the Nate Whitson podcast. How about this in Colossians 3:5? Put to death the sinful earthly things that are lurking within you. Man, that imagery of just lurking, what does that look like to you in your head right now when you're thinking of something that's lurking? The Bible is saying that's what sin is like. This earthly desire to cheat and to compromise and to try to manage sin. It's that lurking sin where the devil's cool. Let's just let this ride for a little bit. We won't strike at you just yet, but we're going to wait till the right time. And then as we're lurking in your life, when the opportunity is right, we are going to strike, and it's going to hurt so bad. Why? Because we didn't get serious about sin. We let small compromise stick around. And just like we saw in Joshua, those little sins continue to live with us still to this day. We have to learn to eliminate the obstacles. Eliminate them, not manage them. If you want to make your life better, you've got to learn to say this little area of compromise is not small at all. It has the power to ruin everything, right? If you want to eat better, you say, but then you keep junk food around and on the counter, then you're not serious. If you say that's important to you, but you keep it right next to you, you're not serious. If you say, I want to eat better, but ice cream is still in your freezer and that's your weak spot, then you're not serious. If you keep soda in your house, but you're saying, I really want to get in shape, and that's the thing that keeps tripping you up, then you're not serious about that. You say you want to quit lust and porn and, all of these nasty thoughts and things that keep you from being the husband and the follower of Christ that you want to be. But you're not serious if the phone is the problem and you can't quite stop looking, but you keep your phone. You're not serious then. You can't say that you want to quit doing that and have social media where it keeps throwing it at you and you like it and you don't get rid of it. You're not serious. You can't say that you want to read your Bible and pray more and then you never pick it up. You're not serious about that. If you don't set a reminder on your phone to say, stop and pray, that's as easy as it would be, right? If you really wanted to pray more and you're like, I don't know how to be a better prayer, set a reminder that goes off once an hour. All it has to say is, say a quick prayer. But if you don't do it, you're not really serious, right? I'm not really serious. You can say that you want to restore your marriage, but if you never take the steps to actually do the things that are going to help you, then you're not serious. What this looks like for us is what it looked like in Joshua, where you're basically inviting the enemy to live with you. God is saying, destroy it. You've got to get rid of it. This small area of compromise, I know it looks like it's little, but it will destroy your big dreams. Most of us men, I think, and I live this out, and that's why I think this so clearly, for me at least, most of us aren't failing to get to the big dream of being the dad that I want to be, or the husband, or the father, or the follower of Christ, or whatever it is for you, right? Most of us aren't failing because we're not serious. I think if you're still listening to this podcast this far in, you're probably fairly serious about it. You're like, no, I really want to be different. The problem isn't that we're not serious. It's that we've never really seriously addressed sin and compromise. And we know it. I think deep down, you probably know it. What are the obstacles? What are the temptations that you know that you could get really serious about and you could eliminate them and get rid of them, but you choose not to? What is that for you? Ephesians 5 says this, be very careful how you live. Don't live like a fool, but live like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity. See, wise men design their life intentionally. And this is what I preach and talk about here every day in this ministry, is living intentionally. It's wisdom. It's allowing wisdom to say, I'm going to mark out the safe path like Proverbs talked about, and I'm going to stay on it. And I'm going to be looking for danger. I'm going to keep my awareness up. A fool, though, says, I can walk into any social media platform and assume it won't kill me. I can continue to flirt with that girl and pretend like it's no big deal. I can try to manage my sin and temptation and hope it doesn't trip me up. But you're a fool. The wise way is to mark it out and to stay on that path. The fool continues to do the same thing over and over. So what are those areas for you, man? as you think about this, as God, I hope, is pressing this on you, what are the obstacles and those small compromises that, be honest with you, like it's just you and the Lord right now. You might be driving in your truck right now listening to this and going, okay, God, what is it? You probably don't have to think very long. There are small areas of temptation that you're trying to manage instead of eliminate. What is that for you? Maybe it's health. Maybe it's your exercise routines or things like that, right? Maybe you just need to get rid of the junk food and stop saying this one's for the kids. We have to keep it around because the kids need it. Was it good for them? We do this all the time in our house too. We shouldn't eat this food because it's not good for us at this age, but we let the kids do it. And then guess what? If the kids have it, every once in a while I have it. Maybe you need to remove the junk food if you're really serious about that. Maybe you need to put healthier options out. Maybe that would be easier for you. Maybe don't keep snacks around. Maybe limit the time that you eat food and say after 7, I don't eat anymore, right? Or I don't eat until noon or whatever it is. Set limitations out there. Maybe you just need to set out your gym clothes so that it's easier for you when you wake up. They're right there for you. If you're serious about your health, what do you need to do? What do you need to remove? What do you need to do to make it easier? If it's sexual purity or pornography or lust, maybe you need to install some filters or some blockers on your devices or on your kids' devices. Maybe you just need to move your phone out of the bedroom at night and refuse to have it in there if that's the place in the way that you are tempted most there. Don't compromise and have it on you if you can't handle it. Maybe you need to stop following accounts and things that trigger lust for you. Maybe it's just like fasting from at least those social media devices and see, can you actually control yourself there? Or if not, get rid of them. If you can't control your phone, get rid of the phone. If you can't control that app, you can't have the app. Maybe you need to find a brother that's going to walk alongside you that knows your weak spots, and you just tell them clearly, ask me about these places, because maybe it's not going to show up as sin, quote unquote, but it's sin to me. 1 Corinthians 6:18 says, run from sexual sin. You can't manage your way around it, fellas, and we know it. What are those areas where you need to eliminate and remove or make life easier for yourself to win by having more help, right? We need to stop negotiating with sin and run from it. How about those of you that are saying, man, I want to be a better man spiritually. I want to lead myself and my family better spiritually. Simple things, dude. Put your Bible out where you can't miss it in the morning. Whatever your routine is, put the Bible where your coffee is. Put it where you're going to sit down first. Put it in your seat of your truck, whatever it is. Don't miss it and don't make excuses. Stop negotiating with yourself about getting in God's word and make it happen by making it easier. Put it where you can't miss it. Maybe you just need to set a recurring reminder that you can pray, like I talked about earlier. Every hour, have a little reminder that pops up that says, pause and pray. And then just do a fast prayer. It doesn't have to be long, right? But get into the routine of praying consistently. Maybe you just need to go to bed 15 minutes earlier so you can actually wake up 15 minutes earlier and have that time with the Lord, right? The Bible says, come close to God and he will come close to you. But you've got to walk that journey. You've got to make life easier, and you've got to stop compromising with sin. Stop compromising with these small, quote unquote, things that you know are keeping you from being the bigger man that you want to be. If your marriage and your family is struggling and you're going, gosh, how do I break this cycle? How do I get us where we need to be as a family? Maybe you just need to turn off notifications on your phone. Put your phone away when you get home, at least until late when the kids are in bed. Maybe you just need to create a schedule where you check in with your wife once a week and just say, how are things going? How can I serve? What do you need? Whatever that is, just a weekly check-in time. Maybe just a meeting that you have with your wife where you can connect with her on a walk and hold hands, whatever it is, right? What I want you to do is simply look at your life right now and just say, like, where is God calling you to grow up and to change? And then how do you remove completely the obstacles? In the beginning there, when we talked about the compromise that Joshua and was talking about in Joshua 13:13, those small, quote unquote, sins stuck around and they created all kinds of problems later. And that is true for me and you too. And it is so beyond time for us to handle small compromise with real clarity. You cannot manage sin and temptation and be the man that God meant for you to be. You must destroy those things, remove those things, get very serious about those things. And so I want you to simply think right now, what's that one thing? What's that one area where God is clearly calling you? You'll know what that is. And if you're not completely sure, at least start there. God, what's that thing? What is it for me? What do I need to remove? Or what do I need to add to my life so that these small compromises don't ruin the dreams that you have for me? And then if this is helpful, I'm telling you, involve somebody else. Maybe it's your wife, but maybe it's a brother. Maybe it's some other man that you can just say, hey, look, this is the area of my life. This is the obstacle that keeps tripping me up, and I'm going to remove it. These are the actions I'm going to take. Would you check in with me on how I'm doing? Like that simple little clarity and accountability can change everything for you. So what are the small compromises? And how are you allowing them to stick around because you're not really serious yet about destroying them? Pay attention. Fellas, pay attention to what God tells you right now, because he's going to speak to you on this, and pay attention and then do what he says. If you're serious about being a better husband or a father or a follower of Christ or just a better man, and you're really serious, then listen to what the Lord is going to say and then act on it. Remove what needs removed. Stop playing around. Get serious about your sin. Now listen, I mentioned this earlier, but if you feel like, man, I need more help like this, I need more accountability, and I don't really know where to turn, go to getinthefight.club. There's a free community called our Fight Club there. You can apply for that. It's free to join. You can learn about courses and coaching and free resources, a newsletter that comes out, all these things that will help you to live an intentional life, help you to live on purpose, with God's purpose, with other men from all around the world who are trying to do the same thing. Man, if you're serious about that, go to getinthefight.club. Be sure you subscribe to this really quick before you leave. That takes just 2 seconds, but it makes a huge difference. But man, there are a lot of men out there who, just like you, are going like, I want to be better, but I don't know where to go. This podcast, I hope, is a part of that. The newsletter, the community, all of it's there. Check it out, getinthefight.club. But this week, man, stay in the fight. Don't compromise. And I'll see you real soon. Hey guys, thanks so much for being here today and listening to the show. Please be sure to head over to the website at getinthefight.club. And before you go, if you haven't already, please subscribe, click the like button, and leave us a positive 5-star review. It makes a huge difference whenever you do. Have a great day. Go get in the fight.